Hello space fans, welcome to Space Command. My name is Brian and I'll be your host for this broadcast. Of course, all space news is interesting and exciting, and today we're going to talk about an amazing SpaceX milestone. Also, NASA has targeted October 23rd for the very first not experimental launch of the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule, but the first operational launch of the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule to the International Space Station. Also, we're going to talk about SpaceX's progress on the Starship, and then SpaceX and the Space Force have signed a contract, a multi-billion-dollar contract for launches, so that's pretty exciting. We're also going to talk about Sierra Nevada's Dream Chaser as it gets it gets its new wings and it gets a new name, so that's pretty fun. Also, the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico has been damaged by an accident. United Launch Alliance is getting ready for an upcoming launch of the Delta IV Heavy, and we're getting ready for a stargazing party, which is going to be happening here next month. We'll talk about that. And lastly, we're going to watch SpaceX's Miss Tree catch a Falcon 9 rocket fairing as it falls from space following the latest Starlink 10 launch. But before we get into all of these exciting news stories, let's talk about some space weather. The black moon will be rising tonight. The black moon is the name given to the third new moon in a season with 4 new moons. So this will be the new moon, and it's going to take place at 9:41 Central Standard Time. That's when it rises. Of course, you're not going to be able to see the black moon because the new moon is not visible. And it occurs whenever the moon is directly between the Earth and the sun. So the reason you can't see it is that the illuminated side of the moon is facing directly away from Earth observers. So today's weather on Mars is sunny, of course, with a high temperature of 28.4 degrees Fahrenheit and a low temperature of negative 88.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The ultraviolet index is moderate, which is really good when you're watching out for radiation levels and getting a sunburn. The wind is blowing 6 miles per hour out of the east, and the barometric pressure is currently 889. The sunrise this morning was at 5:53 a.m. and the sun will set at 5:11 p.m. Today's date on Mars is Sol 2856. Now, even though you won't be able to see the moon tonight, this does create the perfect conditions to view a meteor shower because there's no light pollution from the moon. So look up and see the Caput Cygnids meteor shower, which should be spectacular at 2 to 3 meteors per hour. So to view the show, look in the direction of the constellation Draco. All right. Well, let's get started. SpaceX's August 18th Starlink 10 mission was scheduled for liftoff at 9:31 Central Standard Time from Cape Canaveral, Florida's Launch Complex 40. SpaceX is manufacturing 120 Starlink satellites per month and is racing to build and launch its 12,000 satellite constellation. Things are hitting a bottleneck though right now for the time being, since they can only launch about 60 satellites on each Falcon 9 rocket. That's where the Starship program will come in handy. The enormous Starship spaceship will be able to launch 400 Starlink satellites at a time. So the sooner the Starship program is up and running, the better. Right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Starlink 10 launch and see how it went. Here we go. All right, so we've joined this SpaceX Falcon 9 launch. This is for the Starlink mission, and a few things of note to mention is that this is the 90th Falcon 9 launch. And it's also the first time that SpaceX will attempt to launch a booster for the 6th time. That's right, they're relaunching this booster for the 6th time. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. So they've nearly launched about 600 satellites into orbit for the Starlink program. This is happening at Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral, Florida. And the Starlink program, as you know, is SpaceX's low latency, high speed internet service that will be worldwide and hopefully will be operational soon. There are also 3 rideshare satellites being launched on this Falcon 9. They're small sats for the company called Planet, and they're Earth observation satellites. So since they're taking up a little bit of space, SpaceX is only going to be able to launch 58 Starlink satellites on this Falcon 9 rocket instead of the normal 60, which is what they normally launch. And then, let's see, Of Course I Still Love You, the drone barge, is out in the Atlantic Ocean waiting to have the Falcon 9 booster land on it. And then the ships Mischief and Mystery are out in the Atlantic Ocean as well, waiting to catch those fairings, or waiting for a fairing catch attempt. So let's go ahead and just listen in on the launch and watch. Here we go. And as I mentioned to you, Crew Dragon's first official operational flight is scheduled for no earlier than October 23rd, according to NASA. So that is something that it's been pushed back from September, which is where it was scheduled. Now it's scheduled for October 23rd. So I did want to mention that. Now, speaking of SpaceX's Starship program, which is going on down there in Boca Chica, Texas, the development of this Starship is just amazing in the speed that they're moving, warp speed that they're moving to develop this thing. They're preparing to send its 6th prototype version on a 150-meter hop test, and that's going to happen any day now, so we're waiting patiently for that. The SN5, or 5th prototype version, did successfully complete a 150-meter hop test, so that was successful. Now we're just waiting for the 6th prototype to make its 150-meter hop test. So that's a good deal. Now SpaceX just beat out Blue Origin and others to win a contract with the new U.S. Space Force. This is going to be worth billions of dollars to launch classified payloads from the years 2022 through 2027. So go Space Force. Go Space Force. All right. Well, now, Sierra Nevada and its Dream Chaser spaceplane recently received its new wings, which are to be installed, and a new name. The winged spaceplane will launch vertically on top of a United Launch Alliance Vulcan Centaur rocket and deliver supplies for NASA to the International Space Station. Originally, this was designed to take astronauts to space. The Dream Chaser will settle for delivering supplies instead, for now, to the International Space Station. The new name for this first Dream Chaser will be Tenacity, a fitting name because Sierra Nevada didn't give up, and it's scheduled to launch its first unmanned delivery mission in late 2021. After the delivery, Tenacity will return valuable materials, including experiments, from the International Space Station and land like a plane on a conventional runway anywhere on the planet. So hey, space fans, and lastly but not least, one of the largest stargazing events in the country will take place from the 11th through the 19th of September at Black Mesa State Park. Hey, it's one of the remotest state parks in the U.S. and boasts some of the lowest light pollution around. The Okie-Tex Star Party first started back in 1984 and is hosted by the Oklahoma City Astronomy Club. The eight-night event attracts amateur and professional astronomers in the thousands from around the world. Social distancing won't be a problem in the wide open spaces of the Oklahoma Panhandle, near the borders of Colorado and New Mexico. Black Mesa is one of the most unique places in Oklahoma, with its dramatic landscapes of rugged rock formations to layers of black lava and hidden caves. Black Mesa is also the highest point in the state at 4,973 feet. Stargazers will be camping under the stars and enjoying nightly speakers, epic hiking trails, delicious food, and plenty of social activities. There will be something for everyone. Hey, for more information, go to www.okcastroclub.com. All right. And lastly, if SpaceX hasn't done enough to wow us lately, breaking records here and there, launching astronauts to the International Space Station on Crew Dragon, etc., etc. Hey, as we close this broadcast, let's be amazed as SpaceX's Miss Tree successfully catches a fairing half from the Starlink 10 mission. As Elon Musk said, if someone dropped $6 million in cash from the sky, wouldn't you try to catch some of it? Well, Elon is true to his word, as Miss Tree makes a multi-million-dollar catch. And by the way, I've been thinking about these ships with their nets and their strange names. Miss Tree? Mischief? Or is it mystery? mystery? And is it mischief? Mischief? Get it? You see what I'm saying here? Okay. Well, something to ponder. Hey, I want to thank you for watching today. And if you like this video, click like. If you want to see more space news, click subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.